Got out the mall, yo, the sweet cat, rocking the fade in my face, asking could he see the grenade.
Welcome back to the Vegan Spade channel. Before we get started, just go ahead and hit that like button. I know everybody says it, but just go ahead and hit the like button. We're gonna get started with today. And today we're gonna be talking about why women are less valuable in 2019. All right? We'll start this off with, I have 4 reasons that I feel women are less valuable. My disclaimer, I've been off of social media for 8 years, June 2011 to June 2019. And these are my views and thoughts about the world from an outside view looking in. I feel like I had a clear brain whenever I wasn't on social media. So I view life differently. So I created a channel to express my thoughts and views on certain subjects. All right. Now, why women are less valuable in 2019? Okay, my first reason is they're not the woman that we're taught to love and respect. We're taught that women are weak, vulnerable, and men are supposed to be the provider and the strength so they don't get hurt. But in society now, women are proving that they don't need a man and that they're strong enough to take care of themselves, and they don't need a man to provide for them. So everything that we're taught to do for a woman is not required in a man now, because a woman can do for herself. So that makes her less valuable to a man if there's nothing that he can do for her, because most men want to provide for a woman because men love to provide for a woman and women like to be taken care of. But in the society that we have now, there's no value in a woman that can compete with you because she has too many traits of a man. Okay, now let's get into this one. And I think this is the most important. Women have overly sexualized themselves, right? In today's world, women are sleeping with more men and they're having more sexual experiences, not only with men, but with other women. They're going through a lot of sex partners. They're dating a variety of people at the same time, which a man is taught that if a woman sleeps with too many women, that she's not considered a good woman. I think the world views that. You know, it used to be a time where strippers were frowned upon. Nowadays, it's like you could be a stripper and that's okay for you to be a stripper. You know, in the world that we live in, it has become a culture. But at one point, it was taboo. You was not considered a lady. But nowadays, women have a pass to where they can sleep with as many guys as they want to because it's called them doing them. It's called them living their best life. And when they're ran down and beat up and the vagina's not good anymore and they've been in and out of too many relationships, then they just go ahead and just grab up any guy that they could be with and act like none of that existed and go live the wonderful life that they want to live. Only certain girls are going to get to do that. Other girls are just going to be going the rest of their life without a man and without a husband, blaming men for everything when they have chosen to live their best life and they've over-sexualized themselves to the point where men don't want you. Regardless of how normal we can make a woman able to sleep with a lot of men, it will always be a double standard, that she will always be looked at as a whore and he will always be looked at as the man. And the reason for that is, it's like, for the average Joe, only certain rules apply. Like, if you're an average Joe that work a 9 to 5, when you get with a woman, you have to be faithful. You have to be dedicated because she's just as strong as you. But if you're a celebrity like Drake and all these other celebrities, you can have as many women as you want and you can have the top of the line women. There is more independent women that are willing to be Drake's side chick than just whores. Trust me, women are weird. The independent successful ones make good side chicks because they are married to their job. They just need that sexual release at the end of the week. All right, to me, they have overly sexualized themselves, and they have women are also doing more degrading things. Like, look at the internet. They're willing to do they're willing to put their reputation on the line for quick little likes that people are going to view them as that type of person forever. Now realize that you have to live with the images that you put off. They're doing more degrading things for attention, which is making them less valuable. Now we can easily say, oh, it ain't all of you, but it's enough of you to shake the culture. We can't think about the ones that ain't doing it, because the ones that ain't doing it, you're not shifting the culture. The ones that are doing it are the ones shifting the culture. All right? Third, women are more masculine now. We don't have too many sensitive women anymore. It's like a woman wants you to argue. She wants you to fight with her. She needs that argument. She needs that fight. If you don't bring drama to a woman, then she will bring drama to you. It's that simple. That's how it is. You could be like, think about it. If you're a married man, or if you've been married and you've been in a relationship, how long can you go in that relationship where everything is just good with that woman before she starts nagging and complaining about nothing, before she picks an argument out of nowhere? Because that's how women are. They love that drama. Now that they're more masculine, you're gonna argue and fight more. It's gonna be, I know this, I'm independent, I can do this, I'm that. You're not left to teach them anything because they're trying to overpower you in every situation. Their masculinity levels are too high. Like, women are actually going to the gym to look like two things: to look like a stripper and to look like a man. I'm seeing more women in the gym with traps, like with muscular tone that do workouts better than me, that I'll sit there and be like, what is going on in her life that makes you, this pretty girl, come up in the gym and look like a man and pump these steroids in your body? Because that's the only way a woman can look like a man, is pumping steroids in her body or eating a lot of meat, because the meat has steroids in it. So those same girls that are looking bulky, the moment they stop working out in the gym, they will be getting fat faster because they've eaten a lot of meat to look like that. We don't have any more cheerleaders and Cinderellas anymore. Cheerleaders are just over-glorified strippers. That's it now. They're just illegal strippers. And the Cinderellas, we ain't got no girls turning into decent women or swans and a knight in shining armor is coming through the upgrader. We don't have that. These women are charging from the gate. Gold diggers will tell you straight up, just send it to my Cash App, then we'll go on a date. That's where you guys are at nowadays. For the ones that's out there still chasing them, you might as well get ready to get you a Cash App to give to these women just to go on a date. That's where they're getting to. All right, my last and final reason why women are devalued and less valuable is the delusion. A woman's delusion is the worst nowadays. Oh my God. See, women have always liked being lied to because it allows them to live inside the fantasy of their head that separates them from reality. That's how women are. When they fall in love, a woman falls into a fantasy. And inside of that fantasy, she just wants everything inside of that fantasy to come true. That's just how they naturally are. So when women look at the internet and then they walk outside and they look at reality, they realize deeply there's nothing they can do to compete with a lot of women or all women. Because every girl can look good nowadays. Every girl can get a booty nowadays. Every girl has a job nowadays. So where are you impressing men at? A man can go get an independent woman. So a woman can't say, I'm independent. I do this on my own. I do that. Okay, every girl's doing that now. So it's not as valuable as it was when women were still feminine. Now every girl's masculine. There's no point of bragging about you being masculine. Every girl going out getting that makeup where they could look perfect overnight. Everybody has Photoshop on their phone. Everything is going on that way, that women's insecurity levels are dropping lower. So you take these guys online that are in your DM that you don't want, that you know ain't getting a woman, that you know ain't about anything, and you use their compliments to walk around in real life as if that's how you really feel. But it really shows exactly how low your confidence level is when you have to pretend to be beautiful. The worst thing a man could see is a fat, sloppy chick with an ego, or an ugly woman with an ego, or an old head cougar with an ego. Are you kidding me? And you getting gassed up off of some guy that you don't like? You're using compliments. You're in Michigan and the guy is in Africa, or you're in Philadelphia and the guy is in Hawaii. You're using those compliments in your DM for you to walk outside your house with your head up high and wondering why you're not getting a man. You're not getting a man because in today's world, you have to get a man in real life. And in real life, a man's not valuing you like that, because the same delusion that you're walking around with held up high, most of these girls are doing that now. So you got women that are walking around totally opposite of what we were taught to have. You're men now. You're men with high sex drives. Women have made themselves side chicks. You've made yourself just women we want to have sex with, but not build anything with anymore. Now, every woman is not like this, but you have to understand that there's an agenda to make every woman like this, that at some point dating is just going to be off balance. In my video, Why Relationships Won't Last in 2020, I explain that. I explain by 2020 relationships, if you're in a relationship, that's going to be just dragging your soul out. If you're married, it's going to be dragging your soul out unless you taking your wife in the middle of the woods. That's the only way it's going to work. You have to take her away from the reality and get her off the internet in order for a man to correct her brain to where she's actually valuable to him. But if you're taking most, not all, but most of these women by face value, their value is less valuable. If we want to see your body, your average girl, her body is somewhere on the internet now. A man can get to her body. If not, he can get to a girl that's easier than her to get to her body. If sexuality's winning, women, you have to almost get butt naked nowadays in order for you to win. Like these little compliments you get in the guys that gas you up, you use their compliments and then you go around the guy that you really want and you try to put you try to use your confidence on him. He can see from a mile away that you insecure and that you allowed the wrong guy to gas you up. He loses respect for you and you have no value to him. Real men will be going for those submissive, feminine women still. Those Adrians from Rocky. Those are starting to look good now. All the girls that are starting to look like a Penthouse magazine or a stripper or a Maxima magazine, you are putting yourself as sexual objects. Men only want to have sex with you. Men are starting to go for these nerds now. The girls with no personality, because that's what's left as value to them, because they still have their innocence. Now, if you want to see life the way that I see life, stop eating meat and watch your brain change. Watch your mind, body, and soul change. So you could break the trends you in, come back to reality and find happiness. Women, you have to wake up. You're under a spell and you're allowing these weak beta males that are still coming for you, that haven't woke up. You're allowing them to put you on levels that you don't deserve. It's called false gratification. You're taking false gratification and you're creating an ego behind it, but your ego is just covering up your insecurities that you have. But everything that you're doing to cover up the insecurities that you have is making you less valuable to a man, because it's aging you. A man don't want to meet a 32-year-old woman who looks 40 or a 27-year-old woman who looks 35. The older a man gets, the wiser he gets. The older a woman gets, the more emotional she becomes. So you have to understand, as a man gets older, he gets wiser to women. So he's able to look at a 32-year-old and know she was a slut in her younger years. I only want to have sex with her too. and then I'm gone after a while. But she thinks her value is here, so I gotta play the game in order to get her. So he's gonna take you out on a date. He's gonna be that good guy. He's gonna play the role that you want him to play because it feels so good. Then once he has sex with you, he's gone. You're gonna keep running into those guys because you decide to live your best life at a younger age, and it crutches you. Once a man looks at a woman as a slut, he no longer respects her. A lot of you women out there are getting attention because you look like porn stars. If you go look at porn stars and look at the average girl, y'all look the same. This is why a man is smashing and dashing and you're smashing and dashing too. The difference is every time you take another man's DNA in your body, it makes you less valuable. This is Vegan Spade. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know how you feel. Hasta la vista.